Hi, my name is Kimberly from Zebra Development. Today I'm going to show you how to import new records and update existing ones in Razor's Edge from MailChimp. So first of all, we just need to open up Chimpegration from the plugins area, select Import from the Chimpegration menu, select our audience and click OK. And then we need to go through some settings before we run the import. So we've selected a control report here to work with. We can also work with a specific segment of an audience. And we can choose to either import only new subscribers, or we can import both existing subscribers with updates and new subscribers. And we can create queries of our created, updated and skipped constituents as well. The second screen allows us to map our MailChimp merge variables to our Razor's Edge fields. You can see the Razor's Edge tree on the left here, and we just double click to match those to the MailChimp field. We can also allow a blank value to overwrite a field one if we want to as well. And then finally, we've got some groups. So we can choose to bring group data into Razor's Edge in a variety of different ways. So we'll see all of our groups here. And we can map those to a constituent code, a solicit code, an attribute, or a multiple attribute as well. So we can choose where that information comes into Razor's Edge. And we can ignore any that we don't want to work with. And then finally, we've got some settings. So we can choose what to do with any fields that don't match our code table entries. We can choose what to do with new email addresses. So if we're creating a constituent, if we're adding a new email to an existing constituent, and if we find matches. We can also add default constituent codes and attributes to new subscribers who we're bringing into Razor's Edge, and we can add them to existing ones who don't have it. We've got an option here to remove the request no email flag on an existing constituent if they've signed up to our list. And if you're allowing people to sign up with an email address only, then we'll have to add some text for the surname field, as that's a mandatory field in Razor's Edge. And then finally, if you're asking for postal addresses, this area allows you to back up and save the old address when you add the new one, so we're not losing our address history. So once we're ready to do that, we can import from either the last date we ran or from a date that we specify. And we can save these settings as well, so we don't have to go through this process every time we run an import. So let's click Run now. And before any data is imported to Razor's Edge, we can see our review screen here. The review screen shows us the Razor's Edge data on the left and the MailChimp data on the right. And the column down the center, the action to take, shows us whether it's going to import it or not. So with brand new records, we can see this record doesn't exist in Razor's Edge, but it's in MailChimp, so it's a new sign up. So all of the data is going to be imported to Razor's Edge with the exception of the constituent ID. Obviously, this will be created when we create the constituent, and so we'll send that back out to MailChimp so we can use it for next time we run this process. And we can click through to see the records before we import them. Again, we've got a new sign up here. This one's also got a group to be added. And here we've got a name change. So we can see that we're going to update the MailChimp record, update the Razor's Edge record with the MailChimp data. Now, if you're not 100% happy with that, or if you're not sure which one is the most up-to-date one, then we can click on the blue link here and it will take us to the Razor's Edge record in this instance. So we can double check. And here it will take us to the MailChimp record, assuming that you're logged in. Here we've got a record that exists both in Razor's Edge and MailChimp. We're going to import his group information. And finally, here we've got a postal address update, which is going to import into Razor's Edge. So if at any point you don't want to import any information, you can change this to none, and that will push it into your control report. And you can also add a little message for yourself here as to why you've skipped that record. Or you can simply click the skip button to skip an entire record if you don't want to update any of the details. Once you're happy with all of these, we can choose to process them. We're going to create our query. And we'll be showing a summary of what we've done here. So we've got 2 new records and 2 updated records and 2 updated groups in Razor's Edge. And we've got 1 error, which we'll be able to see in our control report. So first of all, let's go and find that query. So there are 4 records that we've got here. First of all, we've got our brand new record. So we can see all of our basic data has been entered, our name, address, our email address and marked as primary. We've got the default constituent code added a friend. And if we take a look at the attributes, then we can see that we've got the send newsletter attribute, which was our default one. And we've also got our group that's added the favourite animal here. With this record here, we had an address update. So we can see we've got the new Manchester address. But if we go to the address tab, we can see that his previous address has been backed up as an alternate, so we didn't lose our address history. So that's how easy it is to import your changes from MailChimp into Razor's Edge and add new constituents to the database too. I hope that's helpful. Thanks for listening.